Donald Trump attacks weak Jeff Sessions again in early morning tweet storm and mocks Russia probe as so far-reaching it could soon entangle his 11-year-old son. President Donald Trump unleashed a series of tweets on Tuesday morning lashing out at his own Attorney General for his very weak position on Hillary Clinton's emails and lawmakers on Capitol Hill for the witch hunt probes and Russian collusion. The probes have become so far-reaching, the president said, that his young son is probably next on investigators' list. Jared Kushner did very well yesterday in proving he did not collude with the Russians, Trump said of his son-in-law's performance on Monday. Witch hunt. Next up, 11-year-old Barron Trump. The tweet was a departure from normal White House protocol, which is to keep minor children out of political debates, as the White House warned the press shortly after Trump's inauguration, citing the long-standing tradition that the children of presidents are afforded the opportunity to grow up outside of the political spotlight. A few minutes before, Trump had publicly blasted Attorney General Jeff Sessions for the Justice Department's defiance to his calls for a new investigation into Clinton, who the president accused of committing crimes yet again. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes, where are emails and DNC server, and intel leakers. Trump wrote. Typically, the president defers to the Justice Department to prosecute crimes and keeps criminal investigations at arm's length. It is even more unusual for a president to scold the top Senate-confirmed law enforcement officer for failing to prosecute a political rival. The tweet blamed Sessions for not doing enough to stop the stream of leaks of classified information that have buffeted his administration since its first days. In another bad sign for Sessions, Trump's new communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, who has said the two men need to get together to discuss their differences, spoke of a tension between them. I do know the president very well, and if there's this level of tension in the relationship, that's public, then you're probably right, Scaramucci told radio host Hugh Hewitt on his show, asked if Trump wants to fire Sessions. I don't want to speak for the president on that because he's a cabinet official, and I sort of think that has to be between the President of the United States and the cabinet official, Scaramucci added. Sessions was at the White House Monday but he and Trump did not meet. Trump brought two other Eagle Scout cabinet officers to his speech to the Boy Scout Jamboree on Tuesday, but did not bring Sessions. In another tweet, he mentioned Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump campaign and tagged Fox News' Sean Hannity. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump campaign, quietly working to boost Clinton. So where is the investigation? AG has seen Hannity, he wrote in a tweet published at 6:04 a.m. that referenced Ukraine's compliance with a democratic effort to bring down one of Trump's former campaign managers. Trump added, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes, where are emails and DNC server, and intel leakers. Problem is that the acting head of the FBI and the person in charge of the Hillary investigation, Andrew McCabe, got $700,000 from H for wife. Trump did not give any context for his tweet on Ukraine, simply mentioning Hannity. The Fox News host spoke of a months-old Politico article on Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire earlier this month. Politico reported earlier this year that the Ukrainian government preferred Clinton over Trump in the presidential election and was eager to help a Ukrainian-American consultant to the DNC who was reportedly looking for information on former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort, who had already come under scrutiny for his own ties to a pro-Moscow Ukrainian political party. Hannity called this a direct parallel to the current investigation into the Trump administration's dealings with Russia. He asked his viewers to consider which was worse, saying, now that you have evidence from both sides, you have to decide for yourself. Trump's attack on Sessions for not investigating his presidential rival in the race followed a pattern that intensified earlier this month with a harsh criticism of the Attorney General in an interview with the New York Times. Yesterday, Trump referred to the Attorney General in a tweet as beleaguered. Trump has been angry that Sessions chose to recuse himself from the government's investigation of Russian meddling in last year's U.S. election. Privately, Trump has speculated aloud to allies in recent days about the potential consequences of firing Sessions, according to 3 people who have recently spoken to the president. They demanded anonymity to discuss private conversations. The White House has maintained publicly that Sessions wouldn't have a job still if Trump had lost confidence in him. It's made it clear, though, that Trump wants his AG to reopen DOJ's investigation into Clinton. An FBI investigation that concluded last year let the former First Lady and Democratic presidential nominee off the hook for her email scandal. Then FBI Director James Comey argued that despite Clinton's carelessness, no prosecutor would proceed with the case. Trump has since fired Comey, who testified that he believes he was fired over the Russia investigation. Trump indicated to the New York Times a few weeks after the election he had lost interest in going after Clinton. "I don't want to hurt the Clintons. I really don't. She went through a lot and suffered greatly in many different ways," Trump said. Asked about naming a special prosecutor to probe Clinton, long before he would be subject to a special counsel's probe, Trump said, "It's just not something that I feel very strongly about." Trump often talks about making staff changes without following through, so those who have spoken with the president cautioned that a change may not be imminent or happen at all. What is clear is that Trump remains furious that the Attorney General recused himself from the investigations. The Washington Post reported Monday that Trump and his advisors are discussing possible replacements. One name that got floated, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, told CNN that he thinks Sessions was correct to recuse himself from the Russia probe. Sessions had been a close campaign advisor, and was revealed to have had undisclosed meetings with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. The paper reported that former Trump rival Texas Senator Ted Cruz was near the top of Trump's list of choices to potentially replace Jeff Sessions as Attorney General. Trump rounded out his tweet storm on Tuesday by mentioning the U.S. healthcare debate ahead of the major Senate vote on Tuesday, which will decide if former President Barack Obama's healthcare law will be repealed. "Big day for healthcare," he wrote. "After 7 years of talking, we will soon see whether or not Republicans are willing to step up to the plate." He later added, "Obamacare is torturing the American people. The Democrats have fooled the people long enough. Repeal or repeal and replace. I have pen in hand. So great that John McCain is coming back to vote. Brave, American hero. Thank you, John."